Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. Happy 4th of July. And to get the fireworks going, we've got Gabe Cupps with us, member of the Indiana University basketball program. Gabe, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Of course, brought to you by Hoosier Hanks East. You spent some time over to Hoosier Hanks East off the College Mall Road. Great pizzas, subs, all kinds of good food there. How's your summer been so far, Gabe?
It's been really good. Gotten a lot better. Gotten with the guys. Just been in the gym working out, getting better, coming together. It's been really good.
A huge difference this year. Last year, it seems like the team wasn't as deep as what a lot of us thought it was going to be. Injuries came apart. You got thrust into a role that you didn't see coming probably, but you handled that mentally very, very, very well. How much of a good experience was having to go through that for you going forward?
Yeah, I think it was super important, for me individually, just because kind of getting thrown in the fire and just having to go at it and just try things. I definitely didn't play as well as I wanted to last year, and I think that also motivated me to get a lot better throughout the summer and this off season too.
And the roster this year, a great abundance of additions. It's going to be a different season because it seems like every position is deep this year. So practice alone is going to be, I would imagine, great because, as they say, iron sharpens iron. So everybody is going to be going against somebody every day that is trying to win minutes, that is working to play. So that is only going to make the team better, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody on our team can play. So it's just making it that much more competitive in practices. And, I think Coach Woodson likes having a deeper team with how he subs too. So I think that can also help us in games as well.
You've got a couple of new guards in Carlisle and Rice that have transferred in. What has it been like seeing those guys play and playing with them?
Yeah, it's been great. Having guys on the floor that can, create stuff for themselves and for other guys it makes it easier on everybody else. So I mean, they're great dudes, so that makes it a lot easier, to be teammates with them.
And then we've got a couple of guys that we haven't seen. Bryson Tucker, of course, is a freshman, but Ja'Kai Newton is almost a freshman because we've just never seen him play. And I know he has been itching to get at it for a while. What's it been like seeing him finally get cut loose?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm super happy for Ja'Kai. He just loves the game, and he's been wanting to play for forever now. So I'm really happy for him, and he's got a chance to be really good too, just because of how much he loves it.
What is his game? What does he bring? What is his go-to? Is it his shooting? Is it his ability to get to the rim, defending? What is it about Ja'Kai?
Yeah, I would say the best thing he does is defending and then getting to the rim. He's super athletic, long wingspan, like quick, can stay in front of guys, block shots at the rim, and then get in, push it in transition too. But he also has a good mind for the game. He's been studying, film and stuff like that, not being able to play these last few years. So I think that's been really good for him too.
And then, of course, I mentioned Bryson Tucker, the freshman. Same thing about him. What does he bring to the team?
Yeah, Tuck is very good in the mid range. He gets to his pull up and he doesn't miss it very often. He's also a really good defender, super athletic, crashes the boards really well. So, all of the guys that are new have brought really good things to our team.
Now, I understand are you in charge? Like when you guys work out, do you have to guard Umar Balo?
Sometimes I get switched on to him and it's a fight down there. But.
Oh, I cannot imagine what that's like. I mean, my God, he's 7 foot, 300 pounds. It's like trying to move a house.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to move him even an inch. So, it's been really good. He's done well, and he's a big dude.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to watching him play because Like I said, it's like moving a house, man. He doesn't have to try to do a lot of things. He does what he does, it seems like, which is going to be a constant presence for the Hoosiers this year on offense and defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's Philip asking this? Not planned on it anyway, but so who's the team comedian? Who's the class clown amongst you guys?
I would say Malik is probably up there. He's always cracking jokes. He's pretty funny.
You think that's partly because of his experience? He's been around one of the longer guys that's been here besides Leo and Gallo.
Yeah, I would say he feels pretty comfortable. Being around the guys and the coaches. So, it wouldn't. Some of the stuff he says wouldn't be something that somebody brand new would say, just because they don't know if it's all right or not.
Is he still eating that burger? Maybe that's what keeps him so happy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, your dad. You come from a family where your dad is a coach. He coaches AAU. You told me in the break he's still coaching this summer the Midwest basketball program where you came from. How important was it playing under or living with and playing for a coach? Or your dad being a coach.
Yeah, it was super important for me just because it was always basketball. Like no matter what, we were watching, talking, thinking about basketball. So, I think that grew my mind for the game and also my love for it. It's just something that I've always been around. So I don't really know anything else but playing basketball.
Does it give, I don't want to say an advantage, but does it give you an advantage when you're not in the game and you're sitting on the bench and watching that you're able to look at, pick out, find things that you can see that you didn't see while you were on the court?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the biggest things when you're not in the game, you're trying to think about, what you can do better and what you can do differently when you get back in there. So, I think watching a bunch of games from my dad's bench growing up obviously helped me with that. But, you're always trying to think about what you can do next and what you can do better.
Coaching in your future?
I don't know. Maybe. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, we've got a while for that, but just thought I'd throw that in there. So what are you, now that this team is, everybody's in town. Oh, you got Hatton, another big guy that joined the team that brings some different tools. He's not your typical big guy. He's not Umar Balo. He can step out and shoot the ball. So what's been like the differences between him and Balo?
Yeah. Exactly what you said. I think LT can step out and shoot it. And he has a different game as a big around the rim, uses a lot more shot fakes while Balo's just, trying to be super physical. But yeah, I think both of those guys are really good passers, and I think that's an underrated aspect of their game. But, I've gotten really close with LT too, off the court. So it's been good to just get to know him as a person too.
And speaking, we just talked about Umar Balo and I just talked about Lance Hatton. And then but you got to throw in Malik Renew in there. He's still big, but those are all three completely different type of players.
Yeah, I would say Malik is almost like a mixture of both of them, being able to step out and shoot it, but then also being able to be really physical around the rim. Malik's a really good passer too. So those guys go at it every day. So it's been really good to see him practice.
And even though you're not from the state of Indiana, you seem to have this aura of being an Indiana type kid. It's probably part of it's probably being a coach's son, but there's so much talked about culture. And Indiana is one of those programs that has that built in. It's, when you're a 5-time national champion and all of that, culture is there. What is it like playing for a program that has the status that Indiana does, whether they're winning or not? That status does not go away.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and it can be tough at sometimes too. There's definitely pressure to perform and pressure to win, just because you're out of school where it's expected of you, and that's a really good thing too, to have those expectations. You should want to have expectations that you're supposed to win, you're supposed to do well. So I think it can go both ways, but I try to always look at it as a positive.
Adam Howard just got a promotion, but he's been with the program for a while, and I know that he works extraordinarily hard. One of those, as a young coach, that's what you have to do. And when I say work hard, I don't think that people quite get it. I know because in our business we do the same. But he works extraordinarily hard. He has a lot of roles, wears a lot of hats. He deals with you guys a lot. What is someone like that meant to you, means to the program?
Yeah, I've gotten really close with Adam. Whether it's on the court or off the court, just talking to him about life. He's provided somebody to me that I can go and talk to. And he also, he's always on the job. No matter where he's at, he's trying to, help the team in whatever way he can. And I think that's something I really look up to him for.
Now, do you guys have your own rooms where you live now? You don't have to room with anyone?
Yeah, so we have like an apartment, but we each have our separate rooms in the apartment. So it's me and Jakai and then one of the managers that live in our unit.
So you don't have to worry about Jakai snoring or anything like that?
No, I can't hear him. He's all the way across the room.
I'm not suggesting that he does. I'm just saying if for all of you that went to college and stayed in the dorms, that can be no fun. You also told me that you got the chance to go to New York for the NBA draft, which I didn't know that. I saw Xavier Johnson there. He's going to be with us tomorrow, but that had to be an unbelievable experience. I know you're very, very tight with former Kentucky player Reed Sheppard. And what we were just talking about, what a shocking or surprising story to become the number 3 draft pick when he probably was not on anyone's draft boards at the start of the season. But man, you want to talk about a meteoric rise. He did it.
Yeah. I'm super happy for Reed. I'm glad I was able to be there in New York to support him. But just being at the draft was really cool. And, I think it motivated me to, want that feeling for myself too and my family. But I couldn't be more happy for Reed.
What was that experience like? What are some of the things that you didn't expect that you got to experience?
I didn't really understand like how the draft operated. I'd just seen it on TV, obviously, and when you're watching it on TV, it's just pick commercial. But being there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, and I didn't realize how many people are there too.
Yeah, where was it held? Was it at the
Barclays the Barclays Center?
Yeah, I mean, it's become must-see TV. They've turned it into a product.
Yeah.
The NFL does the same, but with there only being 2 rounds of the NBA draft, it's a little more concise. And but yeah, there was a pretty large Indiana contingent there then.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, especially and to see Khil there too, and to see him get drafted was awesome too. But I think Reed and Khil both got really good spots to go to and perform and be successful at.
Yeah, Khil seems like he landed in a great spot at Miami, and he seems very focused on this next level.
Yeah, I think Khil will do really well. He's obviously got the skills, but it's just whether he'll work hard or not, and I think he will. He sees this as an opportunity to better himself and to better his family. So I think he'll be motivated and work really hard, and I think the Heat organization is a great spot for him.
Absolutely. Do you work outside of the team? Do you work with anyone on say like a shooting, like Tiger Woods? They're all golfers have a swing coach. Do you have like a shooting coach or someone that you work with outside of your dad or the team?
Not really. I mean, every once in a while, if I'm in like a new place, like when I was in New York, I worked out with one of the guys that Isaac Green knows, him being from New York. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I have a shooting coach or anything, but I usually just get my work in on my own, and then with the staff and with my dad when I'm back home.
And how much time does that require on your own a day? Not practice, whatever, but just say, all right, I got to go put up 500 shots or whatever it is, because I know everybody has their own thing that they want, that they do, but that I know that takes a lot of time on its own.
Yeah, I mean, I try to get, usually 2 workouts in a day other than practice. And then on off days, I usually, if it's a day where I really need to take off, then I'll just do 1 workout. But if it's like, we got no practice that day, but it's not really an off day, then I'll try to get 2 or 3 workouts again. But yeah.
With all of the new additions, who has impressed you the most, and what has that surprise been?
I would say Luke Goody has surprised me a lot. You know, him coming off the bench at Illinois, he didn't really get that big of a opportunity and role, but he can really shoot it. And he's a great guy for the culture of the team too. He's about the right things, and he goes about the game the right way.
Indiana kid playing for Indiana now. That's got to be, I would say, pretty cool for him getting to do that. Mentioned, how did you become friends with Reed Shepherd, by the way? Is it AAU?
Yeah, so I think our dads met at a camp that we were at together, and then we kind of started an AAU team at the time. It was called the Leftovers. And we played for a summer with them. We didn't lose a game. And then we kind of transitioned that into Midwest Basketball Club. And me and Reed kept playing together every AAU season. And me and him got really close, and our families got really close too.
And a great family. Obviously, his dad played for Kentucky. I think what was the Unforgettables, I think that was the name of that team that they played on for Rick Pitino. But you have something called, well, let's see, before I get to that, I've got an idea for a new show that I want to start with Cliff Marshall called Fun with Cliff Marshall, because I think it would mean anything but that. Your preseason workout, you guys they've dumped some sand behind the arena there. You guys are running in sand, carrying and throwing medicine balls, just basically getting the crap beat out of you physically. I know that is not fun, because I remember going through that kind of stuff. But when you're out there with guys, who's motivating you guys besides Cliff?
I would say the guys this year do a really good job of motivating each other. We've talked about like in some of our mental sessions, we talk about eustress, which is like the stress that's good for you, that's going to help you in the long run. So we try to think of that stuff as being eustress. It's going to help us in the long run, and we know that by doing hard things together, it's going to bring us closer together, and then we're also going to be a lot better team because of it.
What is the worst thing that he put you all through, the thing that you hate most?
The thing that I hate the most is the Versa climber. I mean, just because I think the smaller you are, you have to go a lot more than, if it's Balo on it, then he can stride one time and he's got 15 feet, where I go 5 times and I get 10 feet. So, I mean, I feel like I'm doing a lot of work on the Versa, but same thing. It's going to help us in the long run, gets me in better shape. So I think I do a pretty good job of staying positive with that stuff.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, the coaches would always say, "We're going to run till I get tired."
Yeah.
And that, or you can't. We'll have water when I get thirsty.
Yeah.
So all of those good things. Your first year, like I said, you got earlier. You were thrown to the wolves, an unexpected injury to Xavier Johnson, so you had to play a lot more minutes than what had been anticipated. What are you looking forward to going into this year with this team, with your role? Because there's an abundance of depth where you guys can rotate in and out more fresh, I guess, and everyone can pretty much stay fresh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to just, playing more comfortably. I think last year I kind of took things too safely, but I think this year I've done a lot better job in practice and the summer so far of just, playing freely and playing confidently. So I'm looking forward to that.
Kane Carlisle and Miles Rice, I mentioned them earlier as well. What have they brought to the team from a guard standpoint?
Yeah, I mean they're both really good players. They can create for themselves, create for other guys. Both super quick and athletic, but they're also good guys for the culture. I think everybody that we've brought in has been great for our team, and they're good teammates. So I have nothing to complain about with them. They've done a really good job, and I'm looking forward to keep improving with them.
And with all these additions that we've talked about added to this roster, which is impressive because really there's nobody on the roster, and not very few teams can say this. There's I'd say there's no one on that roster that has not and cannot produce. And that's usually not the case. It's usually, all right, you go 8, maybe 9 deep and there's a drop off. Indiana doesn't really have that big drop off. I mean, you get we haven't even talked about Trey Galloway. He started last year as well. So, and Anthony Leal played quite a bit. So this is a different team, and the expectations have to be exciting.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think the depth that we have is very uncommon. If it's not somebody's night, then one of us, it'll be our night. So I think that's comforting, and that's also very competitive. I think we've been going at it in practices. Not the same team wins every time. We got teams split up evenly, and we both compete with each other.
The Big Ten championship, which is a major deal, it's usually the number one goal, I think, for Indiana basketball first before anything else each year. Zach Edey is gone, and that has changed the makeup of the league. He was a freak of nature, a generational type player that really changed how people had to attack things. The Big Ten is wide open this year now, and I don't know everything about every team roster-wise, but what I know about Indiana, they're going to be one of the favorites to win the Big Ten championship this year.
Yeah, I mean that's our expectation going into the season is we want to win a Big Ten title and then a national title. So, we're very focused on that throughout the summer. We've already talked about how we have to operate and how we have to do things on a day-to-day basis to make that goal a reality.
I'm sure that Coach Woodson's personality has been very upbeat, having all of this talent on his bench. I mean, it's got to be pretty nice to know that every time you look over there, you're looking at, who knows, depending on who's on the floor, whether it's Luke Goody or Trey or yourself or Ja'Kai Newton that can actually play. I mean, there's no one he can look at will look at that can't go into the game. So that's got to keep him in a very, very good mood.
Yeah, he's definitely, I'm sure he's not mad about having a bunch of talent.
What's been your favorite part about coming to Indiana and playing in Bloomington?
I mean, I would say just playing in Assembly Hall. That's an energy that nothing can really replicate. So, I mean, it's been great, and I think it's only going to get better for me as we go on.
And everybody talks about that. It's one of the loudest and most iconic arenas in the game. But as a player, I've talked to opposing players. I remember talking to Grayson Allen after Duke was here last. And he said, when you're 5 feet away from a teammate and you have to use hand signals, he goes, that's different, man.
Yeah.
But what's it like for the home team? Because you still have to deal with that noise as well.
Yeah, I think you definitely get used to it and you find ways to communicate with guys. But also you just got to be loud. Like you have to communicate. Like you have to be loud. You have to yell, scream, whatever it takes to get the attention of your guys. Because you have to be able to communicate to be able to win.
You guys just got started with well, I guess you're a month in to summer workouts now. So
yeah.
The summers can't be a lot of fun. I'm sure it's just a lot of work, a lot of running, a lot of getting in shape. and all of that. But you probably don't get too far out of shape.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I try to do, because I never, take days off or anything. So, if I never get out of shape, then I never have to get in shape. So that's one thing that I try to do all the time.
I know you guys do a lot of things as a team, fun things. I've seen you fishing, and you just played putt the other night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the champion? Who's the champion putter?
It was Goody and Gallo and Jaden and Jordan Rayford, because we have like our accountability groups. And so we had the average score from each group, and my team got second by 1 stroke. So that pissed me off a little bit, but
that's what you gotta be. You gotta be competitive, man. What's the funnest thing you've done this summer personally?
I would say going on a boat with Gallo and some of the guys. Trace and Race were on there. So it was kind of a mixture of past and present guys that I thought was really fun. It was cool.
Earlier I was talking about Bronny James being drafted. You know his father as well, LeBron. That's got to be a cool factor, no matter what anybody thinks of him, that to know one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Yeah, I'm super happy for Bronny too. I think he's worked extremely hard, and he gets a lot of hate that, has just been put on him because of his name. But I think if you take away his name, he still excels at basketball. Like, he's worked extremely hard and he's super skilled. So, I think he'll do well in the league, and, be a great player.
Are you a golfer?
Nah, I'm not. Everybody's telling me I need to get into it. But man, my dad told me about when he was golfing in college. He got so mad he threw his entire clubs in the lake. So I don't know if I want to do that.
Hello, everybody. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and thank you for enjoying our content and videos. And make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications toggle so you don't miss out on anything, whether it's Indiana Hoosiers, the Boilers, the Colts, the Pacers, Indiana high school action, whatever is happening in sports. We're trying to bring it all to you, and make sure you don't miss out on a thing. Again, hit the subscribe button for us. Helps us out a ton. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.